Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fit and fine and you must be preparing for your UT1 exams. So dear students, today in this video we are going to revise chapter 5 Mother's Day written by J.B. Priestley. So before we will begin, so let us go through a small introduction to the writer and to the chapter. John Banton Priestley, 1894 to 1984, educated in Trinity Hall, Cambridge, novelist, playwright, critic. Major works: novels The Good Companions, Angel, Poments, Plays, and plays Dangerous Corner, I Have Been Here Before. Summary of this play: Mrs. Pearson, the mother, works hard for family, gets no respect in return. Helped by Mrs. Fitzgerald, the two exchange bodies. Mrs. Fitzgerald, as Mrs. Pearson, reforms the Pearson family one by one. A lot of humor generated when the family finds the mother not working but drinking, smoking, and playing cards. Instead, Doris finds her yellow dress ironed. Cyril finds his tea not ready. George is told now his friends at the club laugh at him. The real Mrs. Pearson enters, requests Mrs. Fitzgerald to stop the game. The play ends with the children getting ready to cook supper while the parents sit and talk. So this is the small introduction to this play. Now let us move ahead and come to know detail about this play. So Mother's Day, written by J.B. Priestley. So in this play, dear students, as we have just finished reading and explanation, so we know that Mrs. Pearson is a dedicated wife and mother who tends to each and every demand of her husband, George, and children Doris and Cyril. It will not really, it should be Cyril. Both of whom are adults. Yet she is disrespected and taken for granted by them. All the three family members lack gratitude towards her. In fact, they treat her like a domestic hell. Mrs. Pearson shares her grief with her neighbor, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Mrs. Fitzgerald tells us that her own soft behavior is responsible for the misgivings for the family members. Mrs. Fitzgerald has a plan for her. With the magic that she once learned in the Far East, she suggested that the two of them should exchange their spirit with each other. Initially reluctant, Mrs. Pearson agrees to the idea. They both hold hands and their spirits get exchanged when Mrs. Fitzgerald reads a spell. Doris is shocked to find her mother smoking when she comes home. She orders her mother to prepare tea. but Mrs. Pearson remains indifferent towards her demand. This sudden change baffles Doris. She goes to her room to find that her yellow iron dress hasn't been ironed. She gets really upset and almost scolds her mother for not doing this work. Upon hearing her words, Mrs. Pearson replies with disgust that Doris, being a grown up, should do her work on her own. Above that, she makes fun of her friend Charlie Spence, and calls him a half-witted bucktooth. Doris feels deeply offended and starts weeping. Then her son Cyril comes home and notices Doris crying and mother playing with cards. He too demands tea and snacks but is met with the same indifference from his mother. The children discuss their mother's strange behavior when they see her when they see her filling a glass of wine for herself. Doris hints that perhaps the mother has gone mad owing to some head injury after a fall or so. The mother chides them for their callousness and tries to give them a peace of mind. She tells them that she would not work for more than 8 hours every day like them from then onwards, and will also get for a vacation during weekend. She also proclaims that she would do some work on Saturday and Sunday only if she is thanked for everything. Her husband, George Pearson, enters the room and senses tension in the ambience among them. He is annoyed that instead of preparing tea, his wife is sipping wine and relaxing. But Mrs. Pearson shows only indifference. He then tells her that he would have supper at the club. Mrs. Pearson gets annoyed at his attitude and rebukes him by telling him that people at the club make fun of him behind his back. All the family members are feeling miserable. Just then enters Mrs. Fitzgerald, actually Mrs. Pearson. Mrs. Pearson, actually Mrs. Fitzgerald, tells her that she was just putting everyone at place and that the things were all right. The family members look at each other in confusion when Mrs. Fitzgerald, actually Mrs. Pearson, requests to have their spirit re-exchanged. Mrs. Pearson, actually Mrs. Fitzgerald, agrees on a condition that Mrs. Pearson would, would not go soft on her family again. They get into their original bodies and Mrs. Fitzgerald leaves. The mother and children and husband smile at each other with relief, and it is decided that they will have the dinner together and play a game of rummy. This play provides a glimpse into the miserable lives of housewives and mothers who work tirelessly from morning to night for keeping their family members happy. Their sacrifices are taken for granted and they are treated as domestic help. It teaches us to be thoughtful and respectful for our mothers. So, dear students, this is all about the play in which we have seen how Mrs. Fitzgerald was being treated by the members of her family, her daughter Doris, her son Cyril, and her husband George Pearson. Mrs. Fitzgerald was a never offer. She lived next to her. One day she told her that she had learned some magics from the country of East and she was able to exchange the personality. They both exchanged the personality. Now Mrs. Pearson is with personality of Mrs. Fitzgerald and Mrs. Fitzgerald is with personality of Mrs. Pearson. So Mrs. Fitzgerald with personality of Mrs. Pearson, she went to Mrs. Pearson's home and taught a lesson to her family member. This is what we have seen in this play. This play also teaches us that how important a housewife is. We should respect a housewife. We should respect mother. We should respect wife, housewife. Now, dear students, let us discuss more about this chapter through short answer type questions and long answer type questions. Short answer type questions, 30 to 40 words. How was Mrs. Pearson different from Mrs. Fitzgerald? Answer. Mrs. Pearson was a pleasant but worried looking woman in her 40s. Mrs. Pearson was older, heavier, and a strong and sinister personality. Mrs. Pearson was soft spoken with a touch of suburban, while Mrs. Fitzgerald had a deep voice with Irish accent. Question number 2. How does Mrs. Fitzgerald plan to deal with the family of Mrs. Pearson? Mrs. Fitzgerald changed their bodies through magic spell. Now Mrs. Fitzgerald looked like Mrs. Pearson, while Mrs. Pearson looked like Mrs. Fitzgerald. Mrs. Fitzgerald, in the body of Mrs. Pearson, dealt with the family of very sternly. How the members of the club used to treat George Pearson. The members of the club used to call George Pearson Pompey Wompy Pearson because they used to think that he was slow and pompous. Take help from the notes to answer the following questions. Question number 1. What help did Mrs. Fitzgerald offer to Mrs. Pearson? Question number 2. How was George treated by the other members of the club? Question number 3. In what ways Mrs. Pearson and Mrs. Fitzgerald differ from each other? 4th one. What remarks did Mrs. Pearson make about Charlie Spence? Question number 5. Why did Doris say, "Did you fall or hit yourself with something?" Question number 6. Why does Cyril call his mother Barmy when he returns home? Question number 7. What changes do you observe in the Pearson family by the end of the play? Question number 8. What problems did Mrs. Pearson face with her family? Question number 9. What is the first impression you gather about Mrs. Fitzgerald? Question number 11. How did the two ladies exchange their personalities? Question number 12. What made Doris cry? Question number 13. How do Doris and Cyril react to their mother's changed behavior? Question number 14. Why did Mrs. Pearson talk of 42 hours for a week job? Why did Mrs. Pearson talk of 42 hours a week job? Question number 15. What social message does the play Mother's Day convey? How relevant it is in the present day context? Question number 16. Does the ending of the play provide a feasible solution? Discuss. Now, dear students, the questions which we have discussed, you have found that some questions are solved and some questions are unsolved. They are for practice. You must note down all the questions and must write their answers. Now let us discuss long answer type questions in 120 words. Do you think that the issues raised in the play have any contemporary relevance? Give reasons. Question number 2. The play is an ironical portrayal of the status of the mother in a family. Do you agree? Give reasons. Question number 3. What personal and family values are dear to Mrs. Pearson? How do they create problems for her? Question number 4. Do you think the title of the play Mother's Day is appropriate? Give reasons for your answer. Question 5. A mother's work is never done. Do you agree? Explain on the basis of the play and day-to-day life. So dear students, it's all about chapter 5, Mother's Day, in which we have discussed important points, important facts about the chapter, summary of the chapter. We have also discussed some solved questions, and there are plenty of unsolved questions for your practice. So you must practice each and every question. So now students, let us begin another chapter in your snapshot Hornbill, that is chapter 5, The Ailing Planet, The Green Movement Rules by Nani Palkhiwala. So let us discuss some important facts, and more discussion will be done in next video. In this video, let us go through the important facts of the chapter. This article, written by Nani Palkhiwala, appeared in the Indian Express on 24th November 1994. The lesson, The Ailing Planet, The Green Movement Rule, focuses on the deteriorating health of the earth because of human beings' growing lust to exploit all its natural resources. Sustainable development. The Green Movement, launched in 1972, has never looked back. There is a growing need of sustainable development, which was popularized by World Commission on Environment and Development in 1987. Sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their needs. In a zoo at Lusaka, Zambia, there is a notice board in a case where it is written, "The most dangerous animal in this world." There is no animal but a mirror inside where one can see his image. So the earth itself is a living organism, an enormous being of which we are parts. It has its own metabolic needs that must be respected and preserved. But its vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. Man has realized that we must live in partnership with 1.4 million other living beings with whom we are sharing the earth. Band Commission, which had one of the Indians, L.K. Jha, as member, raised the question regarding the condition of the earth which we were going to leave for our successors. According to Mr. Lester R. Brown, there are 4 biological systems: fisheries, forests, grasslands and croplands. They form the basis of the global economic system. They supply food to us and raw materials for our industries, but their productivity is being damaged. According to Dr. Mayer, tropical forests are the powerhouse of evolution. It has been well said that forests precede mankind and deserts follow. We are losing our forest an acre and a half per second. India is losing its forest at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. measure to be taken. Population control is to be given top priority. Fertility falls as incomes rise. Education spreads and health improves. Thus, development is the best contraceptive. Industries have crucial role to play. Important statements: no generation has a freehold on this earth. All we have is a life tendency with a full repairing lease, written by Margaret Thatcher. We have not inherited this from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children. Mr. Lester R. Brown. So dear student, this is very important article written by Nani Palkhiwala. It was published on 24th November 1994. But if we see after how many years it is, near about more than 20 years. But if we see today, we find the condition is same today. No measures have been taken to improve the condition of the earth. It is declining day by day. So this article, which was published on November 24, 1994, is still relevant. This article is still relevant because the condition of the earth is same even after more than 20 years. So dear students, this is very important lesson which has been included to your syllabus and tells us how we human beings are responsible for deteriorating the health of the earth. A very good example has been given in this chapter, that is, there is a mirror in the zoo of Lusaka, Zambia. There is a case in the zoo of Lusaka, Zambia, and it is written, notice says that the most dangerous animal in the world, and in the case there is no animal, a mirror has been placed. If one goes inside, he or she can see herself. So that this way they are trying to give the message that the human beings are the most dangerous animals of this earth. So please, dear students, read your lesson line by line while revising. Go through each and every word. Try to know what is between the line. Only then you will be able to answer the questions in your examinations. Reading should be a very important part of your life. Read the chapters once again in detail. Note down the hard words and their meanings. Okay, so rest things of the chapters about the author, question answers, and more about this chapter we will discuss in the next video. So I hope when you will be watching the next video, you will have gone through this chapter. So each and every chapter is important. Already we have discussed each and every chapter 2 times. Once when I was preparing the videos on them first time, second when during online classes. This is the third time when you are going through. So please follow each and every instructions given by the teacher so that you can score well. So thank you students for watching the video. See you tomorrow in next video.